What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today we're going to be playing some 2-5 no limit cash at a local place in town. If you could subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, we'd greatly appreciate it. Also, ring that notification bell so you can be informed of upcoming videos. I'm an experienced poker player and sports bettor. I do poker coaching and sports betting advising. Also, if you are interested, shoot me a message. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at acpoker0271. What you can expect from the channel is all things relating to poker and sports betting, including hand reviews, tips and strategies, and much more. All right, well, let's get right into the action. The first hand we pick up, pocket aces. We're hoping to get some action and win a big pot here. We decided to raise to $15. And then everyone folds. Awesome. Well, that was a cool hand. This was the first time I've seen everyone fold. It's almost like they knew we had pocket aces. They were probably like, pocket aces, eh?
Well, see you later.
Classic flick. Okay, on to the next one. We are in the cutoff. And there is a guy ahead of us who limps in for $5. We pick up pocket jacks, so we decide to make a raise to $20. We do get a call from a guy in the small blind and a call from the limper. The flop comes king 8-9, 2 diamonds, and both guys check. We can bet here small. We can also check back. We decide to check this one back to just play it a little slow and kind of disguise our hand a bit. The next card comes the 4 of diamonds. We don't have a diamond either, which isn't great, but both guys do check again, so we are confident our hand is good at this point. So we do decide to make a bet for $30, about half pot. The small blind calls and the limper folds. So let's see a river. The river comes to queen of hearts. Not a great card by any means. He could have ace queen with the ace of diamonds, queen 10, things like that. We do have pocket jack, so we do block 10 jack. So unlikely that he has 10 jack, but there's no point in betting as we would only get called by better. So we check back. I think he has pocket sevens, he said, with maybe the 7 of diamonds. So we take a small pot down.
I'm liking AC Poker. I feel like AC Poker's got like I think we're going to see some good play. I'm looking forward to this one.
Thanks, Doug. The next hand we pick up queen jack suited in middle position. With 2 limpers ahead of us, we decide to raise it to $25 pre-flop, and both guys call. Onto a flop of queen jack 7, 2 hearts. So we hit top 2 pair. Good flop for us. The reason why we did size up to $20 pre-flop is because of a couple limpers ahead of us. Anytime there's limpers, the more limpers in the pot, the more we will generally size up to our pre-flop sizing to kind of punish the limpers, and to maybe clear out some of the hands. It's hard going to a flop multi-way and winning the pot. When you can clear out some hands, it's a lot easier. If I was to make a standard raise pre-flop with 4, 5, 6, 7 limpers, they would be getting the pot odds to call, and then going to a multi-way pot. It's just harder to win the pot that way. So we do size up to $25. On this flop, we do decide to make a bet of about $40. The first guy folds and the elderly guy calls. We will just refer to him as Grandpa Joe. Okay, so Grandpa Joe calls. The turn comes to 6 spades. Grandpa Joe checks. So it's a good card for us. None of the draws get there. But in his range can consist of anywhere from flush draws to straight draws, combo draws, 9-10 suited, king 10s. He could have the 9-10 of hearts, king 10 of hearts, any kind of draws like that. So we do decide to bet $90. And Grandpa Joe gives it up. So we win a nice pot there. About $162. The next hand is a 5-way limped pot, and we pick up pocket 6s in the small blind, and we smash this flop. Middle set, oh yeah. We decide to check It goes check, check, and the elderly woman we'll refer to as Grandma Jane, she decides to bet $10. So we decide to raise to $25. Two players call the raise, and the turn comes a really bad card, the 4 of clubs. Completing some straights, completing a possible flush. The guy who did call the raise is pretty tight. He just cold called our 3-bet, so he easily could have a flush here. So not a really good card, so we decided to check this one back. The tight player checks, and then Grandma Jane decides to make a very small bit of $10, so we just smooth call, and the other player folds. River comes a queen of hearts, we check back, she checks back, and we show our set. She says she has pocket sevens with a 7 of clubs, so our set is good. We take down a small pot there. The next hand we pick up ace queen of diamonds. One limper ahead of us, so we decide to raise it to $20 pre-flop, and we get 2 callers. 3-way to a flop, it comes queen 9-5, 2 spades. We have top pair, top kicker, plus the backdoor flush draw. This is a great flop for us. However, due to the board texture, it is a little connected. So we do want to bet here. We did decide to make a bet of about $35. The next guy calls, and the limper folds onto a turn card. The turn comes with 3 of diamonds. Good card for us as we now have the backdoor flush draw with our top pair. So we do want to bet here again, as we want to charge their draws, and we want to bet for value as we do believe we have the best hand. I think we bet for $50, and they folded. We could have decided to bet bigger, but we did decide to go for $50. Now our next hand we pick up pocket queens pre-flop. We do get a limper. We decide to make it $20 pre-flop. This guy in the small blind calls, and the other limper calls. The flop comes jack 5 deuce, 2 clubs. The player who limped in actually led out with a bet here to about $25. So we certainly want to raise here. We can sometimes smooth call, disguise our hand, but we decide to raise to about $65, and he calls. The turn comes with 3 of spades. Now heads up to a turn. He has about $150 left, so that's kind of why we sized up our raise to 65, because we wanted to keep him in and then size up to, basically put him all in on the turn here, which we decide to do. We put him in all in for 150. He could have a jack here. He could have a flush draw, maybe the ace of clubs with a flush draw. He thinks for a second, but decides to make the call. He turns over the king jack, so we need to dodge a king or a jack on the river. The river does come a blank, so we do take him out. I think the river was a 7 of spades, so very nice pot for us, a little over $500, and we stack that guy. So on to the next hand. The next hand we pick up 10 jack in the big blind, facing a $15 raise. We defend our big blind going 3-way and check a flop of 10-8-3. We do have top pair. The under the gun raiser checks back, and the other player checks back. The turn comes with 2 of spades, so we now need to bet here for value, as it appears we do have the best hand. We're very confident that we do. We make a bet of $25. The under the gun raiser thinks about it, goes, and he calls. So not really sure what he has. We at this point putting him on possibly 9s or 7s, or maybe a flush draw with 2 overs. He calls, the other player folds, and the river is the 5 of spades. Not too bad of a card. We do decide to bet, and he calls and shows a set of 8s. Okay, well, could have got a lot worse for us there. So moving on, we have queen 7 of spades in the big blind, and we check our option 5-way. We do flop trips. Queen 8 with 2 diamonds. So Grandpa Joe actually leads out for $10 here. not really putting him on a queen. We do decide to make the call. Everyone else folds. The turn card comes with 10 of diamonds, putting a possible flush out there, but not too worried about him as he let out in the flop. He has a lot of 8s in his range. He bets out 10 again and we call. The pot's now $65 and an 8 comes, so giving us a full house. We're hoping that Grandpa Joe has a flush or an 8 for a lower full house. He bets 25. We raise to $75 and he calls and shows ace 8 for a lower full house. So good hand for us. We take it down. A nice $215 pot, boys. Let's go. All right, this next hand is an interesting one. We pick up pocket queens on the button, facing a raise of $15, and Grandpa Joe calls. The initial raiser was pretty tight. This is the first hand he raised, so typically we want to 3-bet queens, but we saw him limping with 10s earlier, so we were putting him on a pretty strong hand. 5-way to a flop. Flop comes Jack 9, 5, 2 hearts. The initial raiser bets $20. Grandpa Joe calls, so we decide to just call as we're a little bit worried about this, just given that he hasn't raised pre-flop and now he's betting. So 3-way to a turn. Turn comes to 6 of clubs. The initial raiser now bets $60, and Grandpa Joe shoves for $300. What do we do here? We think we are behind. There's a lot of draws on this board, but we just can't make the call for $300. We think that the initial raiser, who hasn't raised pre-flop, still could have a big hand. We decide to just lay it down, and the initial raiser, who we were saying was tight from the beginning, also folds and shows pocket kings. So we made a pretty nice player just flatting with the queens, thinking he was strong, and Grandpa Joe just doesn't show his hand. So, we were behind at least one of the players. Unsure what Grandpa Joe had, but he did shove all in for 300. So, that actually turned out pretty well for us. On to the next hand. Next hand goes 5-way in a limped pot, and we check our option of 7-8 in the big blind. The flop comes 4, 5, 6. We flop the nuts. We checked all the way around to Grandpa Joe, who bets $20. We raised to 80, and he ships it all in. We snap call with the nuts. He ends up having 2 pairs, 6, 5. We need to dodge a 6 or a 5. The board runs out 9 queen, and we stack Grandpa Joe for an $800 pot. The last hand of the night. Amazing. We dip into Grandpa Joe's retirement fund. Sorry, pal. Man, are we on fire tonight. The reason we decided to raise pretty big is because it was a 5-way pot, so it was likely someone hit something on that board, including Grandpa Joe, who actually bet pretty big on the flop. So we thought he did actually have something like either a set, 2 pair, pocket 7s, pocket 3s with a pair / straight draw. So we wanted to raise the pot and build a pot without slow playing, and we didn't really want to see a scare card on the turn to kill the action. So Grandpa Joe just ended up overplaying his hand, and we stacked him. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We had a nice profit on the night, and I'll catch you on the next one.